The crystalline spires of the Draconian Empire stretched toward 3 moons, their surfaces gleaming with the bioluminescent scales of 1,000 conquered worlds. In the grand armory beneath the palace, Dragon Queen Vesrith stood before her, ceremonial battle armor, her obsidian scales rippling with fury. "Who fixed my armor?" Her roar shook the foundation stones, sending lesser dragons scattering like frightened hatchlings. The armor, ancient, forged from the heart of a dying star, had been damaged in the last territorial war. Its quantum shielding, matrix had fractured, its graviton compensators misaligned. Every master craftsman in the Empire had declared it beyond repair. The armor was supposed to be a monument to past glory, nothing more. Yet here it stood, humming with power, every system operational, glowing with an efficiency that surpassed even its original design. From the shadows of the maintenance bay, a figure emerged, small, bipedal, covered in grease and wearing a battered exosuit that looked held together by spite and improvisation. A human. "I did, Your Majesty," Creed said, wiping his hands on an oil-stained rag. His voice carried no fear, only the exhausted satisfaction of a job well done. Vesrith's golden eyes narrowed to slits. "A human? A maintenance technician? You dare touch the sacred armor of the Dragon Throne?" "You asked who fixed it," Creed replied, gesturing to the armor. "That would be me. Took 48 hours straight, but she's running at 147% original efficiency now. The graviton compensators were calibrated wrong from the factory, probably why they failed in the first place." Silence descended upon the armory. Dragon guards tensed, waiting for their queen to incinerate this impudent creature where he stood. Instead, Vesrith laughed, a sound like grinding continental plates. "Impossible. Our greatest minds spent weeks analyzing the damage. The technology is draconian, forged with techniques your primitive species couldn't possibly comprehend." Creed shrugged. "Your greatest minds were overthinking it. The quantum shielding wasn't fractured, it was suffering from harmonic cascade feedback. I rewrote the compensation algorithms, added a buffer system using parts from a crashed freighter in Bay 7, and reinforced the power matrix with a human-designed adaptive coolant system." He paused. "Also, whoever installed your original targeting system was drunk or incompetent. I fixed that too." Another dragon advisor stepped forward, his emerald scales bristling. "Your Majesty, this is clearly sabotage. No human could test it," Creed interrupted, meeting Vesrith's gaze directly. "Something that would have earned any other being immediate execution. Put it on, run diagnostics. If I'm lying, torch me. If I'm right, maybe show some appreciation." The throne room could have heard a scale drop. Vesrith studied the human for a long moment, then stepped into her armor. The biomechanical interface connected with her nervous system, and information flooded her consciousness. Every system was green. More than green, they were perfect. The armor responded to her thoughts faster than ever before. The power distribution was flawless, and the targeting system was showing her threats she hadn't even known existed. "How?" she demanded, her voice now tinged with something other than anger. Curiosity. Creed pulled out a datapad, tossing it to one of the guards. "Full repair documentation. Every modification, every line of code, every replaced component. Figured you'd want to know what I did?" Vesrith accessed the data through her armor's interface. What she saw made her cold blood run even colder. The human hadn't just fixed her armor. He'd understood it at a fundamental level that her own engineers missed. He'd seen patterns they couldn't, made connections their specialized training had actually prevented them from making. "Where did you learn draconian quantum engineering?" she asked. "I didn't," Creed admitted. "I learned human engineering, duct tape, wire, and desperation. We've been making broken things work for thousands of years because we couldn't afford new ones. You want to know the difference between human tech and everyone else's?" He gestured to the magnificent armor. "You all build things to work perfectly under perfect conditions. We build things to work under any conditions. Your armor was built by specialists who each perfected one system. I'm a generalist who had to understand how everything connects because I've spent my whole life fixing junk with limited resources." Another dragon lord hissed. You dare compare the Dragon Queen's sacred armor to junk? No, Creed said calmly. I'm saying it's better than it was because I treated it like something that needed to work, not something that needed to be worshipped. Vesrith stepped forward, her armored form towering over the human mechanic. For a heartbeat, everyone believed they were about to witness an execution. Instead, the Dragon Queen knelt. What is your name, human? Creed. Maintenance Technician 3rd Class, Human Auxiliary Corps. Not anymore. Vesrith's voice carried throughout the armory. From this day forward, you are Creed, Master Engineer of the Draconian Empire. You will have access to every facility, every resource, every piece of technology we possess. Creed blinked. I was just doing my job. Precisely. Vesrith stood, her armor gleaming with newfound power. You saw what needed to be done and did it, regardless of politics, tradition, or fear. That is rarer than star-forged metal in this empire. She turned to her advisors. Find more humans like this one. If one maintenance technician can accomplish what our greatest minds could not, imagine what humanity could do with proper resources. As the dragons dispersed to carry out their queen's orders, Creed remained, standing in the armory, still holding his greasy rag, trying to process what had just happened. Another human approached from the maintenance corridor. Holt, a junior engineer who'd been watching from the shadows, her heart hammering in her chest. Creed, you absolute madman, she whispered. Do you realize what you just did? You just changed the entire Empire's opinion of humanity in one conversation. Creed looked at the armor, then at Holt, then down at his oil-stained hands. A slow smile spread across his face. I just fixed some broken armor, Holt. That's what humans do. We fix things. We adapt. We make it work. He glanced back at the departing Dragon Queen. Maybe that's our real superpower. Not superior technology or overwhelming force, but the sheer stubborn refusal to accept that anything is truly unfixable. Holt grinned. Humanity, fuck yeah? Humanity, fuck yeah, Creed agreed. And in the gleaming corridors of the Draconian Empire, a new era began, not with conquest or war, but with a human mechanic, a greasy rag, and the simple truth that sometimes the best solutions come from those who've learned to make miracles out of scrap metal and determination.